Hi guys, welcome to my channel. It's Vesna here. Thank you so much for stopping by. For today's video, I am doing 2 thrift store flips. For the first flip, I am using this metal sunflower vase from one of our local thrift stores, and I'm going to be sanding down the farmhouse sunflowers or farm fresh sunflowers, that little sign. Although I didn't mind the color and I didn't mind the sunflowers, it just didn't really fit in with my decor, so I'm going to be making it a little bit different. I'm going to save that little leaf that's up there, and like I said, I'll just sand it down so that way you can't see it, and that's all that in terms of prep work, that's all I'm doing. Once I sand it down and rough it up, I'm going to be painting it, and I'm using the Serenity Blue from Rust-Oleum chalked paint. It's similar to the Duck Egg Blue from Annie Sloan if you've tried Annie Sloan paint. I really like it. It's kind of like a grayish light blue. I really love this color. I painted my island in this color in the Duck Egg Blue, but I painted my island in that color. I've painted another entertainment unit in that color mixed with a little bit of white. It's kind of like a mix of it. I love this color a lot. So I'm just going to do one full coat of coverage, and then I just go back and I touch it up just slightly if there's any of the green showing through. The touch-ups were minimal. I just did a little bit where, if I smudged with my finger or something like that, because I didn't mind a little bit of the green coming through because I will be distressing it. So you'll see that in the next clip. To distress this, I used several colors. I was going to use my liquid gilding copper, but it finally became too old and dried out on me, so I didn't get much out from there. So then I wound up using a little bit of the gold metallic, silver metallic, black, and cashmere paints. I kind of mixed them together and did a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then that helped me achieve. I wanted it to look like there was like a blackish tarnished metal peeling off. That's what I wanted to look on the this little vase, and I really think I achieved it. Some spots were a little bit too dark, so I did go over with the blue again, but I did that purposely because the sign that I did put on it, I wanted to go over it with blue, so it was okay. It just kind of dulled down the distressed parts. So I remember when I first started distressing things, and I was always worried, well, what if I do it too much, or what if I don't like it? The beauty of paint, and I say this in every video, is that you can just go over it with your other paint. It's not permanent. Sharpie is a little bit harder to go over with, but it's still possible. So it's not the end of the world unless you don't have the paint anymore. But the way you get it to look the way you want is just by playing around with it. At least for me, there's no set rule. Well, I do 3 strokes this way and 4 strokes this way. I don't. I kind of put it on, push it away from me a little bit, look at it from further away, and then if I think it needs more, I add more. If it needs less, then I always dull it down with the paint that I started with. Again, it's trial and error. The more you do it, the better at it you get. And I've found this technique of using baby wipes to kind of blend some of the paints together. So that's what I'm doing here. And as you can see, it's turning out really nice. And again, dulling down that black so it's not so black. And then I did put that cashmere into a separate container just so that I could get a little bit more, or sorry, not the cashmere, the metallic gold, just so I could get that out a little bit more. And like I said, it's trial and error. And if you don't want to do it on the project that you're doing, you could always do it on just a piece of wood or something like that, just to see, okay, is that the color that I want to do, if you don't want to have the extra work of going back over it. So I went ahead and I created this flowers and garden sign lettering actually from with my Cricut. If you can find these letters at the Dollar Tree, you don't need a Cricut, but you do need something to have like a little bit of a bump on it. You don't want to, I didn't want to use this as a stencil. I wanted it to be actually the vinyl on the vase. So if you can find vinyl letters, or if you're brave enough to cut them out yourself, you could do that or use your Cricut. I thought I was going to do this shape around as well, and you'll see that I'm painting over it so you wouldn't see the black, but then when I put the flowers in garden, I didn't like the way it looked, so I wound up taking it off. So then I just used transfer tape to apply it to my vase. This video is a part of a challenge hosted by Jamie over at Border Bananas, and it's her Flippin Friday challenge, which she has every month, where she challenges us to find something from the thrift store and make it over and make it look beautiful again, or make it completely different. Whatever you decide, that's your choice. And like I said, she hosts this every month. Please check her out. I'll have her information linked below. I'll have the playlist linked below as well. The playlists have been a little bit wonky, so you may have to use a computer to see the playlist. I think there has been some issues with them. I'm not sure, but everything will be linked below, so check everybody out. And there's going to be lots of creators, so check them out as well. Back to the video. So as you can see, I've applied the flowers and garden here, and now I'm just kind of taking a look. I'm seeing that the F goes too far, so I was going to cut it down, and then when I cut it down, I decided that I really didn't like the way it looked, so then I just wound up removing it eventually. And like I said, all of this is trial and error. If paint had come off when I was removing it, I would have touched it up. I'm not ever afraid to touch anything up or to fix something, because paint is amazing to work with, and any kind of chalk paint is very forgiving and really easy to work with. If you haven't tried it, I really do recommend that you try. I love the Rust-Oleum chalk linen paint. It's easier to get. I love Annie Sloan too, but it's a little bit more difficult to get, depending, I guess, where you are. At least where we are here, it's a little bit more difficult. So then when I remove that, I decide that I need to go over it, and I knew I would be going over it with the blue. So again, I do my method of applying the blue paint and then removing it off with a wipe. Now this time this wipe was a little bit dry. It wasn't completely wet, so it didn't take everything off, but it just gave me the look that I was going for. So once I got the coverage I was looking for, I then went ahead and just put some flower picks. These I believe I bought off of AliExpress a few years ago. They're just roses, and I think they're very cute, so I've popped them in here, and here's what it looks like all finished. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Vesna, and I do all sorts of things DIY on a budget on my channel over here. I try to do thrift flips, trash to treasures, Dollar Tree flips, but everything that I do is on a pretty tight budget. I believe for this vase I paid $2.99, and then the hurricane one was 50 cents. So that's the kind of stuff you like. Home decor on a budget in a pretty rustic farmhousey theme. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell, and leave me a comment. Let me know that you've subscribed. So for this next DIY, or thrift flip actually, I'm using this hurricane vase. Like I said, I got it for 50 cents from a thrift store. You can pick them up at the Dollar Tree for $1.25, at least here in Canada, or $1 in the States. But I saw this and I do tons of stuff with them. I had a whole bunch left over from my wedding. I had to use them up before, but I still love doing projects with them. And especially because they're glass, so you can actually put fresh flowers in there if you wanted to, which is nice without worrying that they're going to stain your table or leak or anything like that. So this is a super easy thrift flip. I am adding jute rope to this vase, and I am using hot glue to apply it and just going around in circles. I'm not cutting it off. I'm just using one string of rope, jute rope, for the whole vase, and I put it about 3/4 of the way up. So that's all there is to this DIY. Like I said, it was really easy and it cost me under $2 because I didn't use a whole roll of jute rope and I didn't use a whole lot of glue. I think maybe it was 2 glue sticks and they come in a package of, I don't know, 8, I think. So it's very inexpensive and I think it's a beautiful vase. Very farmhouse, kind of rustic. Turned out great. You can put fresh flowers. I chose to put Dollar Tree picks. I had 2 of them on hand. So I guess it cost me a little bit more. I guess it cost me $4 because I used the picks, but you can use flowers from your garden. You can use branches. You can use anything in here. And I just put them in there, and that's all there was to this DIY, and I think it turned out beautifully. So here are both projects together. Let me know what you think. Let me know which one you like better. I like both of them equally. I think they're both gorgeous. Leave me a comment below. Check out the playlist. Check out Jamie's channel. And make sure you don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have an excellent day and stay safe.